I eat that already? Man, I'm still hungry. Okay, I've got a nice big clean slab of lab created emerald, and I need to cut a 2 rectangle cut stones for BOPIE. So I've measured for my trim saw. I'll take it and I'll cut here, and then I'll cut them in half because I need 2 pieces about 9 by 7, and this is bigger than that, but this will give us what we need. And again, it's very, very clean and very hard to find thicker pieces like this that are clean. So let me go ahead and trim up my emerald and get the pieces all set up into the top. So now that I've selected and cut 2 pieces of lab created emerald rough from my slab for BOPIE, it's time to select the designs. And well, for emerald or rectangular designs, BOPIE likes, and so do I, and you can't go wrong with either the Graham Prince design by the late Jeff Graham or the standard oblong step cut design with cut corners, which has been around for 100 of years, and there's really no designer of that design. It just was kind of the original for an emerald shape. And here's both the designs for you to look at and see how to cut them. And for the Graham Prince, Jeff put this design into the public domain for all cutters to try. And I showed you in a previous video how to access and go back to Jeff's old and now gone website using the web's Wayback Machine. And here's a link to that video where I show you how to go back to Jeff Graham's old website. And I would recommend you visiting this site, downloading the several dozen of free designs that Jeff has shared, and as well as Jeff was a prolific writer on the topic of gem cutting. So there's numbers of articles written by Jeff which are very good, excellent works, and I would recommend you go in and read those as well. Okay, this is our first lab created emerald that we're going to cut, and this one I'm going to cut into the Graham Prince design. And the second one I'm going to cut into the standard oblong step cut with cut corners design. Both are going to be a rectangle cut, both about 9 millimeters long and 7 millimeters wide, and then BOPIE can decide which one she wants to use in her design, and she can use the other one in another design. She's got both of them cut in other stones or in other sizes, both of these cuts, and she likes them both, so she's not sure which one she wants to use. So let's go ahead and get this one into our machine. And the way we do that is by setting our machine so that the index teeth of the machine, the 24 and 72 go on the side, and the 96 and 48 go on the top and bottom. You just have to eyeball it in. You don't have to be perfect. So let me go ahead and put that in. So we just put the our dot into our spindle and set it so that the as I said, the lengthways hits the is at the 24 and the 72 teeth, and the length and the short side up and bottom are at the 96 and the 48 teeth of our 96 tooth index gear. Then I just tightened up my top retention screw here with my Allen wrench, and we're ready to start cutting. Okay, I've pre-polished up the bottom half with 3000 grit diamond on the bat lap. So the pavilion went pretty quickly from a 600 topper to my 12M to this 3000 grit diamond on the bat lap, and now I'm ready to polish. So I think I'll use cerium oxide on a tin lap. Barrel seems to polish pretty well with that, so Go ahead and polish this bottom part up. It's coming along nicely. It's just right width and length that BOPIE wants. So let's go ahead and polish it up. Okay, so my tin lap with sodium oxide polished up our emerald pavilion for our Graham Prince design. So now I'll transfer the stone and cut the upper half of our Graham Prince. Looking really good, really clean inside, and the measurements are correct. Length and width just to what BOPIE needs. So let's transfer the stone. Okay, I've pre-polished the upper half of our Graham Prince. I used a 3000 grit diamond on a bat lap. And what I will say is that because BOPIE wants an exact length to width for this stone to fit into a mounting that she's working on, and that length to width ratio is not exactly the same as the length to width ratio for this design. This design was made for a length to width ratio of, let's see, 1.25. And mine's a little bit, what I need is a little bit different. So it's not a big deal, but I did notice that when I was cutting the crown, the C1 instructions, it had you cut all four sides, the 96, the 24, 48, and the 72 teeth without readjusting the height of your cut, and that won't work. If you do that, your girdle on the sides won't be the same length, width as the girdles on the short sides, long sides and the short sides. So all you have to do is you have to break it up. 42-degree angle is fine, but do the 96 and the 48, and then adjust your height and do the 24 and 72 to make sure your girdle matches all the way around. And the same thing occurs when you follow the C5 instruction. The C5 instruction is bringing in facets to touch the corners, and it has the 23, 25, and then 73 and 71, and it won't quite work out, so you have to break those up also and do them by 23, 25, and then the 71, 73, and then it'll be fine. But that's just because the length to width is not the same as the diagram. Now on my other stone is the step cut, and with step cuts, doesn't matter. You can adjust the length and width without affecting the cuts because they're step cuts, and everything will work out fine with that design. But this design, I did have to make those adjustments. So I'm ready to polish now, and I'll use sodium oxide in a tin lap. Okay, so our Graham Prince polished right up with sodium oxide on a tin lap. So now I'll soak it in the acetone, and then we can weigh it, and we've already got the measurements of it. And so now I'll cut the next lab-created emerald that BOPIE wants to compare the two and see which one she wants to use. I've got to make it the same length and width as this one, but it's a oblong step cut with cut corners. It's a pretty standard design. Many cutters have cut it, so I'll cut that next and see which one we like better. Okay, I've pre-polished the bottom part or the pavilion of my gemstone with a 12M lap, which is about the same as a 1500 grit. The M on the 12M is microns, and I bought it, it came manufactured in Ukraine, so it's microns, diamond sizes instead of grits, which the US uses. So it's about the same as a 1500 grit. I'm ready to go over everything with my 3000 grit diamond on a bat lap, but I haven't cut the corners yet. And I wanted to get the steps pretty much where I want them before I cut the corners. I think that works a little better for me. So now I'm going to go cut the corners and then use my, and then on the rest of everything when I get to it, I'll use the 3000 grit diamond on a bat lap, and then I'll be ready to polish. Okay, I finished polishing the bottom half of our emerald, and I used cerium oxide on a tin lap. So now we'll transfer the stone and go ahead and cut the upper half. It's coming along very nicely. I've polished the upper half of our lab created emerald and everything except the table. So now I'll set the stone into my 45-degree angle jig and polish up the table, and then we'll be done with this gemstone. Take a look at both of them. Okay, the table polished right up with cerium oxide on a tin lap, and I started on the table with just my 12M lap, and then went to 3000 grit diamond on a bat lap, and then I polished it. That's all it needed. There's not that much space on the table, so time to take the stone and soak it in acetone, remove it from the top, and then we can weigh it, measure it, and send it off to BOPIE. BOPIE, my wife, has a special order piece of jewelry that she's working with a client on. And for the center stone, they want lab created emerald. But neither the client nor BOPIE can decide exactly which rectangle shape design they like best. They have two in mind, so I cut both designs for BOPIE and the client to choose from. Now, I had no problem at all cutting or polishing these pieces of emerald. They both came out great. Beryl just cuts and polishes simply. Now, most lab-created emerald rough has inclusions. And most of the slabs that you're going to find out there when you're looking for slabs of rough are not thick. And it's relative to what you look for. For me, my slab is relatively thick, and it's clean. And I had to go directly to the labs to get this thick, clean slab of emerald rough, which is, it's not a problem because virtually, again, all natural emerald rough is included. So many cutters actually seek out and prefer lab-created emerald, which has inclusions. So if you're out there looking at rough dealers and they show you emerald slabs of lab-created rough that has inclusions, it's not a problem. That's the norm. Not the exception, it's the norm, so don't worry about it. Now, as far as these two designs that I cut, I've cut both of these designs before multiple times, and I think that's another reason why I didn't have any issues at all today with either of these designs. These designs are straightforward designs, and they're well suited for cutters of all levels, including beginning cutters. And I would recommend you cut these designs. And if you do, drop me a note in Facebook and let me know how they turn out. And I do enjoy seeing photos of your work, so please send some photos. And as always, happy faceting, everyone.